कोई हमसे आगे बढ़ जाएगा तो हमारे में इनसिक्योरिटीज आ जाती हैं. Why can't we all be together? मैंने वो लोग देखे हैं जो कभी मेरा फोन नहीं उठाते थे, आज वही मुझे सलूट मारते हैं. Okay, that person said this. Okay, next time improve. Not sitting and saying why. No, nobody is perfect. Our part of the world really need to look after each other. We all are going through so many crises. My country is going through so much crisis back home. There's no political stability.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of What's Brown Got to Do with It. Super excited for this episode because I am joined by Kiran Malik, who most of you will probably know is a Pakistani supermodel, film actress, entrepreneur, and just an amazing person. So, welcome, Kiran. It's so nice to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Adia, for having me on your show. I've been hearing good things about it. So here I am. All
Thank
yours.
you. Now, actually, Kiran, I met you, and I don't know if you remember this, but we met around 15 years ago on a shoot. And I have to say, like, we weren't in touch for a long time in between.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Dubai, I moved to Abu Dhabi. And there were a few times in between that I did get in touch with you. And
Yeah.
we've spoken here and there. And honestly, my memory is just that what you were 15 years ago is exactly like who you have been, true to yourself. Even every time I speak to you, you're so humble. It's so like always such a pleasure to speak to you. How have you
Thank
not
you.
changed?
I don't know, but a lot of people do say that I've changed because my work has changed now and my priorities. Well, I'll say that as a human, I try to be as better, as nicer, as kind, as humble I can be, so I can be a role model to my daughter as well. बट ऐसे उर्दू में कहते हैं ना कि हर इंसान में कोई खामियां होती हैं, तो आई एम श्योर आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फ्लॉज एज वेल, बट I think I'm blessed with people around me like you and so many other who keeps me grounded, who I keep on seeing and learning from them. And I would say that I have changed, but I think in a good way. A lot of my friends, I have few very close friends who came up and said that you're not the same person because you have made new friends. When it's not bad to change. When you're changing your profession or when you are getting somewhere, you meet new people and they become your family members or they become your colleagues or they become your friends. So having new people in your life is always a blessing, while keeping the old friends or the people who are close to you very close to your heart. You are very kind, and I don't know you. I try my best to be a nice person, and I think I'm still on the. I'm still learning.
Well, I
There's
think there's
a
a
lot
lot to
to
be,
learn.
yeah, but there's a lot to be said for self-awareness, right? Like it's very easy. And especially, I mean, we'll talk about this because I know obviously you lived in the UK for quite some time. You moved from Pakistan, you were in the UK, and then you moved to Dubai. So we'll talk a little
Yeah.
bit about the kind of transition and the lifestyle differences. But just to be self-aware and know that, okay, it doesn't matter what I'm doing in my life, but the goal is to just keep improving as a person and keep getting better. Not everyone can do that, and not everyone has that self-awareness. So
I
you
need to
know
answer. I need to answer Allah as well. So I have to. I have one. My only calmness in my life or only peace in my life is when I go to sleep. I should feel that I haven't hurt someone. I've been a nice person, and if I leave the room, people should say good things about me. And the point is. You won't have positivity in your life or people around you unless you believe in it. So everyone goes through rough days. I've been through a lot of rough days in my life, and I've just taken that as a lesson, and I've never given up. I never gave up. I am ready for more struggles and more hardships. If God has to show me or I have to experience that, I am all ready for all that, because that will be another learning process. But I think with time, you come up to a point that, for me, only one person matters, is myself. If I am happy, I'm very, you want to call me a person who is very selfish, I love myself. And that might be the reason that I'm grounded, I will always keep myself a priority. Of course, there are people around me who are very dear to my heart and would always be my priority, but I would not neglect myself. It's funny enough that I take a girls' holiday. I used to take girls' holidays when my daughter was 2 year old. Why? Because that's my me time. I work hard, and we all girls are on a journey. We wake up in the morning, then we have a mama duty, then we have our own little life going on, then we have a husband duty. There are so many things a woman has to go through. There is some time for herself as well while you sit, and if I would love to enjoy a coffee or a tea by myself and just be around nobody, not even my daughter around me. It's my time,
Listen, I
and it's
totally
very
get that.
important.
I get that. When my son, when Aman was much younger, then
Yeah,
his bedtime was like 7 o'clock,
yeah,
7:30, and he always used to be like, "Mama, what are you going to do when I go to bed?" And he used to be so anxious. And I used to
yeah,
say to him then that, listen, once you're in bed, what I do with my time, that's my time. I
exactly,
don't need to answer to you. And we all need that. And there's always this pressure on women, I feel, to,
100%.
we are always answering to somebody. We have to prove ourselves, be a good mom, be a good like wife, be a good friend, prove
Exactly.
ourselves at work. And that's a good kind
And
of
look
way
after
to,
yourself as well. You need to look
well,
good
this
as
is
well.
it.
There's so many things
Yeah.
you have to do now.
So much pressure. So
There's
this
so
is
much
a good
pressure.
way of kind of talking about like your journey, because you started actually in HR. You're a HR consultant
Yeah,
by profession,
yeah.
and then you moved into this world of like media and
You've
film.
seen the journey.
Yeah, like your journey has been, just to watch you rise and get better and better and do some things. And the other day I was watching Pinky Memsab again,
Yeah.
and when it first came out, I watched it and I love that movie. I don't know if it's because living in the Middle East, it kind of resonates. But
Yeah, it does.
how has that journey been? Like, how was your transition from working? Like one day you're at work and the next day you're a superstar.
Well, I still think that I'm on the ladder to become an actor. I have a lot to learn. But yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm not going to say that I'm there yet. But yeah, people do recognize me or recognize my effort and my hard work. Pinky Mem Saab has been a beautiful journey for me. I signed another very commercial film with a very big actor back home in Pakistan called Shan Shahid. And that was my debut. And, while I was doing that, Shazia, who is the director of the film, was very kind enough. And the moment I read the script, Shadia, I only took like a day to decide, because when I was reading it, I said, this is a story of every person living abroad. It's an expat story, right? The obstacles and the hurdles we all go through, the emotions we all go through, and the insecurities we all have. Sometimes, moving when I moved from Pakistan to London, even though I used to come to London every year, I'll put it that way, with my family, but living alone with a certain budget was not easy, and starting from scratch was not easy. So expats have a very, very demanding and very difficult life. So that journey was beautiful. I think I learned a lot from Pinky Mame Saab as well as a person. And working with a female director made me very proud. And I think that film took me to another level. I used to be a very known model, doing a debut with a very known actor, but doing an art film and coming up on Netflix and being shown at BAFTAs was a whole different story, and that was it. And I think there was no turning back. And then I started getting calls. I did another film called Money Back Guarantee. It's a
Yeah, you
comedy
did.
film that just got released. Then I did a special appearance in one of another films, and my modeling got to from one level to another level. And yeah, and that's history now. And I just did a drama. I did my first TV series.
I know, I've been watching it. It's amazing. Like you see the growth. Like even in Pinky Memsab, that your character, the way you were depicting, it was so heartfelt. I watched it. I've watched it a couple of times, but when I was watching it again, I could really, I can see your growth for sure, but I really felt like you felt the character. What you were
Yeah, yeah.
playing, like you understood, like you got
There
the
was a,
memo.
yeah, but I would put it that way. It was just not myself. It was my team, my director Shazia herself. We went through script reading, which not it doesn't happen a lot in Pakistan. Now it does, but I haven't seen a lot of projects on that. She was. We had like literally a 6 months training. I used to go to her house. We used to read the script, and then we used to rehearse again and again. That time it was very time consuming for me, and I was like, oh God, I was not taking it seriously in a way. When I went on the first day on the set, then I knew. I said how clever she was because she trained us so well that now when we get, and it's such and my character is very emotional, so I was ready for it, and it was shot in a month, 10 days, and that was it.
Oh wow, that was
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, that was
So
very quick.
let's talk about like how you actually got into, media and modeling, going from, what was your journey like, moving from Pakistan, then you were in the UK,
Yeah.
now you're in the Middle East. Like how did that all happen for you?
Well, I went to do my master's to UK, and well, I was living alone, and then I thought that I should start doing part-time jobs, and I was doing part-time job within my university, but then I was like, you know what? I was doing on and off modeling anyway, and I was like, I'll start doing some modeling there. Then I started doing some corporate shoots. So I did IBM. I was face of IBM. I did British Airways. There used to be a very popular brand called DSF,
Yes,
the
the
sofa brand. So yeah, yeah,
sofa,
yeah. So I was
yeah.
face of that. So yeah. So and then Lubna came up, and I used to go for those
Ah.
makeup classes, and then there was this charity ball. And for Pakistan, I was not doing modeling at all. I was only working in England, and I was helping one of the NGOs, LRPT from Karachi, and they were showing Hassan Shariar was doing a fashion show, and I was helping as an organizer because one of my company was there, being part of it, was sponsoring the event. And Hassan Shariar being from Lahore, I'm being from Lahore, and we are very loud people. We are Punjabis, so we were very overwhelmed to see each other, and we were hugging, and so we became friends. And he was like, "Why don't you close my show?" And I was like, really? Well, I am not too sure. And that was it. And then I closed his show. I went to Lahore, and Athar Shahzad signed me over they were the ones who I used to work for 5 years. So any project we used to come, I used to fly back to Pakistan, do that, come back. And in the meantime, I was studying. I got married. Then I was doing on and off these jobs in UK as well, but mostly corporate. Not when I say corporate, I didn't do a lot of high fashion uh,
Mm.
with big brands, but I did a lot of corporate work with all these big companies, IBM and all these people. And I learned a lot, and those were the university days, so
Yeah.
it was good to make money like that,
So
and that's
how
the
was
whole
it,
journey.
like
And
when
then
you
moving to
got,
Dubai was just like my Abba wasn't well, and I wanted to move to somewhere near, and I couldn't see myself going back to Pakistan, so we moved here. Um, and then that was a time when I signed my first film. I went to Karachi, and the actor saw me, and he gave me a role, and that was it. And since then, I've just been working back and
so
forth.
how was like the support from your family, like from, you got obviously married when you went to the UK, because you were also doing it at a time when, and you've lived in the
Oh
UK,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the UK is a little bit, I didn't realize this myself until I moved to the Middle East, but
Yeah.
I would say that, the Desis kind of living in the Middle East are a little bit more progressive.
100%.
Um, or their mindset is a little bit different to
Yeah.
the,
And I'm talking about the days when we are talking about 15 years
yeah,
back when
exactly. Yeah.
now when I see, there's a very dear friend of mine, Adnan Ansari, he does this fashion show and stuff.
I
And
know
when I,
Adnan really well.
here you go.
Yeah.
So when I see all those events now, and I see such beautiful Pakistani, Indian girls or South Asian girls being on the catwalk, other than only, East European or European girls being part of us, right? Because our girls won't be getting permission because the fashion show ends late, or a lot of issues. What clothes are you wearing? And it has to be conservative or whatever. Those were the days. I never had an issue when it came to my parents or my in-laws either. But they didn't encourage me either. They did not force me to not do it. If they, like, I didn't ask anybody, I'll put it that way. I've been a very headstrong person from day one. uh, and I take decisions, and that came from my father once said that when I was leaving Pakistan, he said that don't think that you're a girl and you can't achieve anything. If you have a heart and if you're hardworking, you will be a successful person. So just look up, do not look down, and just keep your journey up. And I didn't stop. I still think I have so much to do. Considering a lot of people say, oh, after 40s, things change, or blah blah blah. I don't believe in that. If you're an actor, you can act in any age. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're into PR, you don't. Age is just, for me, is just a number.
Well, yeah.
You just need to have talent, or you just need to have potential, uh, and you just need to think positive, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think my
But what do you
parents, I had a good support system from even my in-laws. That they've been very kind, but I seriously was. I didn't wanted to ask anyone. I took decisions myself, and I'll do the same for my daughter as well. She will take decisions herself, and I'll just be there for her.
But you must have seen a lot, like in terms of in the modeling world, especially. You talked about it briefly, in the UK when there were just none South Asian models because they weren't given that permission.
Yeah.
What do you think changed? Like, what has changed drastically over
I,
there
I think I
now?
think our people are like, girls have taken stand. I'll just say that I think our girls have started taking a stand, saying that every work is important. When I started, modeling was not considered as a good profession. I'll put it that
Yeah.
way, right? And when you said that, yes, I had amazing support from my immediate family, but yes, the people who I know from my mom's side or my father's side, I could see the eye rolling. I could see when I would go and there'll be a cheeky smile, or they will just ignore me. But who cares? They are not paying my bills. Who cares? I'm not getting improved by them. I have to answer one person, that is God. And I know if I'm a good person, everyone will be happy. So now I think our girls have started taking that this step forward, that, first, no job is bad job.
Hmm.
Every profession, and I'm not going to take names, any kind of profession. Either there's a massage lady who comes and do my massage, I need to
Hmm.
respect that, because that's her work.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
her,
exactly.
that's, and why would we sit and say things of people when we are not paying their bills? They are doing
This
their
is it,
work,
right?
they are
Hmm.
supporting their families, they know what hardships they're going through. Who are we to judge anyone? We are nobody to judge
This
anyone.
is exactly it. I remember when I was young, like the people used to say there was this craze. All the girls wanted to be like air hostesses. It looked so
Yeah.
glamorous, and it was like, nay, 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 you can't
बिल्कुल
do
नहीं हो
that.
सकता, हाँ, ये
Nay,
बड़ी गलत जॉब है,
nay,
तुम लोगों को
yeah,
खाना सर्व करोगी? I
yeah,
know.
and it's just like, where did all these like things come from? Like,
Exactly.
it's a job, and I agree, and I think one of the things age does teach you is like to think about, well, who cares? These people, they're not around to in your bad times, so why should it matter? Like
Exactly.
what you're doing in your, what makes you happy, it makes you happy.
But I'm so glad to see that now girls are doing so well and they are standing
Yeah.
for themselves, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and yes, I must say that we should respect our elderlies. We should respect, even now, my mom can call me and say, oh, this and that. I will listen to her. I'll sit with her and I'll explain her, right? Uh, with age, your parents or your people who love you can have their own little opinion. I would just say to all the young girls out there that sometimes you have to just listen to what they are saying. Have your own opinion, but we can't be aggressive as well. What I notice now in the younger generation is there is a lot of aggressiveness.
In my feelings, I was with some friends yesterday and we were talking about, this generation, they just all about their feelings, like you've hurt my feelings, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's all about.
Which are important as well, but our feelings are important as well.
Yeah.
So, if my mother is saying something to me, I might not like it. And it can be true, right? And no one is perfect. But I will still listen to it and I would try to get an answer for that, or I'll try to explain my part of the story, or I will explain that why I'm doing this. You know, like I did this drama, and my mom was like, you took a negative role, but you should have done, तुम्हें अच्छा role करना चाहिए था. And I was like, Amma, the first thing is I read the script. I'm, like, what little things your parents can come up with. And if either I can have an argument with her and I'm like, अच्छा
Exactly.
आप मुझे बताएं आप मैं आप स्क्रीन पे अच्छी लग रही हूँ ना. She's like, हाँ
Yeah.
तुम बड़ी लग रही हो. तो मैंने कहा बस ठीक है.
That's the most important thing.
Right?
No, but it's true. I think like in our time, like our generation, we were, a lot of it was fear as well. Like
Yeah,
we would be too scared to speak up or say anything back to
yeah.
our parents, not just out of respect, but a lot times out of fear as well. And we're teaching our kids, and I definitely teach them on that. Speak to me, be free, say whatever.
100%.
But then they take it to another level, like we're a bit too free. Okay, let's be friends, but really, I'm your mother. I'm not
Yeah.
your friend.
You need, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
need to
like,
keep on reminding them.
yeah, tone it down slightly. But it's a different like generation of like this. I mean, living in the Middle East, this sense of entitlement that I find kids here have, is it's really difficult. But I'm entitled to this. It's my
I
right to do this.
exactly. I think because it's such a humble place to live in, and the lifestyle is, our kids are spoiled. And it's not their fault either. It's just the lifestyle every kid in UAE is going through, right? Like things are easy for them. If they go to UK, and my one went for summer school, and when she has to do things herself, and things change. But I think UAE, but on the other side, I am so happy that I live here. Why? It's the safest place to be. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's so safe, and the environment is so clean. Um, yes, it is overwhelming for our kids sometimes that we have to, the demands can be to
Hmm.
another level. Like, I want to go, I need a fancy car, or I want to go and do this, or I want to go to this fancy dinner. Not every time you can afford that. But you have to go through it because, the schools they go to, or the friends they have, or whatever the circumstances they're living in. I don't blame them, but I think as us live as expat people living here, we've seen we one day we will all go back. So we need to teach our kids that this is very nice, but you have to do things your way, or you have to do like I have told Iman now. I said, no maid is coming upstairs and doing your wardrobe and stuff. Do it yourself. You need to
Yeah.
work. It's just small little things, and I think these things are important. Living in over here because it's just a beautiful place and so easy.
It
Everything
is
is done. Like
easy. I
my dry
think.
cleaner will come home to get the dry cleaner.
Yeah. It's definitely a life of like convenience. And for me, I'm a single mom, and I often think if I was back in London, how difficult that would be. Like the
Exactly.
grind, the hustle is real. Over here, I'm appreciative that I'm able to
Alhamdulillah.
have, yeah, alhamdulillah, I've got home help, I've got, everything's kind of close by.
And even if
Nothing
the
comes.
kids are by themselves alone, because my one is 15, so she's able to stay by herself, I don't feel scared, or I don't feel that, oh my God, she's alone at, these things does make a big difference when you're the only one at home, right? I would not even think of doing this if I was living in UK.
Oh gosh, no. We were in London over the summer, and some of the things that we experienced the day we came back to Abu Dhabi. Then Aman said it was like at 10 o'clock at night, and he said, "Can I go to the park and play football?" And I was like, "Go, like
Exactly.
go!" Like
Exactly.
I don't think twice about that. It is a nice and safe place. And the other thing, and I've seen this like in your friend circle as well. It's the variety or the diversity of people that you're
100%.
exposed to
You
here.
meet so many new people from so many different nationalities and culture. You learn this every day. Like, and I'm blessed with so many people from all over the world, and we all live in the same place. We all share ceremonies together. We all have good days. We'll all have bad days together. You know, and I'm a very social person, so I keep on inviting. But 2 3 days ago, I'd hosted a lunch, and there were 30 people, but they were all different backgrounds, and it was just so nice.
It is nice to bring to and have that exposure for our children as well, that there is a life that's outside of what we grew up in or what we saw. And or none of this, like India, Pakistan, and like these
And it's
different
a humble
countries and all
culture.
these.
It's
Yeah.
humble. People are humble here. People are not aggressive. And the best part about living in UAE for me is the balance of the lifestyle. There'll be a lady sitting in a mall wearing a full abaya with full face covered, and then there'll be someone sitting opposite her wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and no one is judging anybody. There's such a nice balance. Like, you don't feel threatened. you know
Yeah.
you
But
feel
even
very,
that, I think
you feel home.
it's taken time to get to that. I mean, I
Yes.
moved here
Yes.
13 years ago,
Wow.
and and Abu Dhabi was like very conservative in that sense. And now it's progressed. Like the evolvement is just insane. Like where we were talking about this yesterday, Ramadan, 13 years ago to Ramadan now, it's like you're living in a
But can
different
I say
country.
something? I do miss that Ramadan. Why? Because I used to like that places were covered. डर होता था कि नहीं भाई, if you're sitting in the car, you should not drink if you're not fasting.
Yeah.
Those were good things. I think that
Yeah.
that I do miss. You
And
know.
it's really funny because a lot of expats, like Western expats, also say the same thing, that
Yeah.
actually, we do miss that. We enjoy that feeling, the sense
Exactly.
of that there's something. It's an important month. That everybody just felt good. But things change, people progress, and it's also finding its way into fitting into all the diverse people that are here. So it's easier for them to adjust to. But Kiran, I want to talk about like, yeah, alhamdulillah, you've got the support from your family and in-laws and everything, but nothing comes without like its challenges.
No.
And so there must have been like judgments and
Yeah, 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 yeah. Judgments, or not appreciating what I'm doing, or ignoring it. You go through that. A lot of people who are very close to me would not even bother going and watching a film in the cinema, not making that effort. But then I have people who will make an effort and will take miles and miles away and will go and watch it. Um, I, and these things do matter to me. Why? Because that's my work. That's what I do. So you need to appreciate that. There were a lot of hurdles, I would put it that way. uh, while I was shooting, I have to leave Iman. I have to go and for long long hours, and then I was working as well as a HR consultant. It's not easy, have juggling life, and my Abba wasn't well. Things were got really messed up. But I didn't stop, Shadya. I still think that, and I make a point, and I tell people, I don't keep it to my heart. If I have something to tell, if I love someone, I am open to tell them. If I don't like someone, which is very rare, but if there are, you can, आपको कोई बंदा बुरा भी लग सकता है, बुरा in a way, बुरा एक बहुत strong word हो जाएगा, आपकी dislikes हो सकती हैं किसी, आई ऑलवेज से कि उससे आप मिलने से ज़्यादा बेहतर है यू टेक अ बैक सीट एंड यू जस्ट step back rather than you sit and gossip. There's no, we all sit and we all talk. Gossip can be क्या पहना, क्या हो गया, ये कर लेते, वो कर लेते. Gossip को वहीं खत्म हो जा. हमारा मसला देशियों का ये है कि we take things seriously. We can't see anyone progressing. कोई हमसे आगे बढ़ जाएगा तो हमारे में इनसिक्योरिटीज आ जाती हैं. हम क्यों सब एक, why can't we all be together? I will, la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, will be very happy for anyone in my whole group or anybody who I know progressing, doing better than me.
This
Why
is it.
not?
And this is the mentality that, like, that does need to change. And it's one of the barriers and challenges that I
And
faced. So,
karma does come back, and I
yeah.
I strongly believe in that.
Yeah.
मैंने वो लोग देखे हैं जो कभी मेरा फोन नहीं उठाते थे, आज वही मुझे सलूट मारते हैं. So
Yeah. It's insane, right? Like how that happens. But one of my own challenges, even when the reason, like, I told you about, I started this group at NYU called Sacred. And one of the things that I have discovered in my own journey is that, you know, they don't want to always lift each other. It's exactly what you said. It's like either you make it to the top and then you forget the journey of how you got there, or you make it to the top and you just forget, like,
but
I'm not
how long will
desi.
this fame, or how long will this money, or how long will uh, this will last? Please tell me. Few years,
Yeah, but it's
you
back to
know.
what you said at the beginning, right? It's about self-awareness and knowing that, okay, by me helping somebody else isn't actually going to be detrimental to my life or my career. Like, whatever's meant to happen, I'm a big believer, whatever's meant to happen for you will happen. Nothing's going to change that.
Exactly. See, I love when someone criticize, or like if I have, I love critiques. If you're sitting and saying, तुमने इसमें ज़्यादा अच्छा किया था, तुम ऐसे ठीक लग रही थी, I will take that seriously and say, okay, that person said this, okay, next time improve. Not sitting and saying, why? No, nobody is perfect. We all have flaws. We all are learning every day. If we accept this, if we believe in this, we'll be happy people.
And if we help each other, I mean, I reached out to you and I said, Kiran, I want to do this podcast. You didn't even say why, what, how, where, when, nothing. You were
But
straight away,
I'm
you were
happy
like,
for
yeah,
you.
sure. Yeah,
And
you
I
were
was
just
happy
like,
that you considered me part of your journey, and that is it.
yeah.
You know,
And we just need
I
more
just think
people
कि
like
हम,
that.
especially South, our part of the world, really need to look after each other. We all are going
Absolutely.
through so many crises. My country is going through so much crisis back home. There's no political stability. It's sad. So अगर हमारे लोगों में कहते हैं ना, हमारी आवाम भी अगर आपस में ही लड़ते हम रहेंगे, तो we have nothing left. So at least as human, if we can be nice to each other, and less of negativity, and less of criticizing and pinpointing, we will be happy people. You don't like me, there's an exit
Absolutely.
door, please take it. But do not sit and, everyone is have
Judge.
struggles in their
Yeah.
life and going through it. Aapki,
This
you're
is
a
it.
single mother, how many obstacles you've been through till now. No one knows that journey, right? Only you
You know,
yourself knows it.
exactly. My friend told me this thing, and I use it like religiously now, and it's about choose your hard. And what that is that life is hard. Things happen to you that will naturally happen, and life is already hard. But there are choices that you can make to make life harder
Hard, yeah,
or make that
100%.
hard easier for yourself. And so I consciously find myself doing this. We're like, oh, I need to do this, but ye ho jayega, wo ho jayega. Like, okay, but you know what? Can I just do something else to make this a little bit easier?
Better, yeah.
So choosing your heart is it's a skill as well. But I think if everybody just chose their heart, and again, choosing a heart is also about, do you really want to sit and gossip? Do you really care? You know, is this person's progression really going to change or affect your life in any way? Like, no. Can you help somebody? Can you uplift them? Can we uplift each other? Because, you know,
That's
whether
what,
we're Indian or
the world
Pakistani
we
or
live in now.
Bangladeshi.
There's so much, everyone is on a journey. So at
Mm.
least the least we can, as human, can do is be nice to each other.
This
Simple
is
as
it.
that.
This is it. When you were in HR, when you were kind of transitioning,
Yeah.
was there kind of like a change towards the professionals around you and how they perceived you?
Well, when I started modeling in UK, I didn't tell a lot of people that I was doing
Mm.
this. But when I became the face of British Airways, so my pictures were all over. And my boss came up and he was like, "Oh, you were looking really nice wearing that suit," and that was it. And then the whole world knew it. But no, I think everyone appreciated it, and I think after that I was getting more love, or
Oh,
I was
nice.
invited more to the parties and stuff. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. But no. They all, I in that way I think I've been very blessed, Shadia.
Mm.
The people I've worked with so far, the people, my team. I don't have a manager. I don't have any PR person. But I'm just blessed to be around people who are in this industry and who are also very, very supportive. So I think in
Mm.
that way, God has been very, very kind.
That's
Very
amazing.
kind.
So, Kiran, what I want to finish off with
Ji.
is I want to ask you, because obviously we're on What's Brown Got to Do with It.
Ji.
So, what does being brown mean to you? When you think of I'm a Desi, I'm South Asian, I'm Pakistani, what does that mean to you? How does that transcend for you?
So for me, being brown is being a South Asian, being a proud Pakistani, Desi, Punjabi from heart, a big Lahori who loves parathas, uh, and a brown person who's very proud to be brown. Very, very
That's
proud.
amazing.
And I must say that our brown people, from, I'm talking about from our grandparents to our great grandparents, and how we have achieved so far, we should be all very proud of, you know. Uh, uh, and it's just been a roller coaster for everybody like us. But
Mm.
here we are presenting our countries, our small world, very nicely. And we should all be very, very proud. So I'm being a very proud brown person in the world. I'll go anywhere in the world and I'll say I'm a proud Punjabi Lahori.
Yeah, I love that. And it's part of you, right? It's part
Yeah,
of who we are, and it's
100%.
what makes us and you're a prime
We
example
can't,
of like,
and it's our identity. And
yeah.
I am,
Yeah.
and जहाँ भी कहीं मुझे पाकिस्तान का झंडा नजर आएगा तो मैं तो खड़ी हो जाऊंगी. You know,
Yeah.
I'll stand up in respect because that's my country. That's what have made me. You
Hmm.
know, I am who started from nowhere, and because of country where I belong to. So Pakistan
Yeah.
will always be my first priority in my life, and I'm proud to be a Pakistani. Proud.
And on that note, thank you so much. And we're proud of you. And I know all your followers are, and you know, everyone who will get to know you and see you in the most amazing
Thank
like movies and dramas and more social media. Your social media is out of this world. So
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
love that. But thank you so much, Kiran,
Pleasure is
for
all.
speaking to us today. Wish you all the best. And you're a good example of how the good always outweighs the bad. So good job. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And we will see you
Thank
soon.
you. Look after you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye
You
bye.
too.
Bye.